So this is our precast, we're calling it.
Yep.
Right? We're going to do first precast. So we're starting our podcast. We lined up our first guest. We're going to have that in maybe next week or the week after. We'll shoot it. So to give us some practice, we're going to run through all of our preferred partners in our magazine and do an interview with them. So our first one was with Kristi Munoz of Lawyers Title, and we spent about a handful of minutes with her, getting to know her a little bit. We first met her a few months back when we started, and she's one of the best in the industry with Lawyers Title. So we hung out with her for a while.
Yep. She's awesome.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I think it was great.
It was good?
Yeah, it was great to get to know her a little bit more. We found out that you guys played indoor soccer at the same place.
Mm-hmm. Kristi's vlog episode that comes out, you'll see him in there as well. So
yep.
Check out this episode.
Can you hear me now? There we go.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're the first one. You're our guinea pig. We're calling this our precast.
What is going on with my hair? I went out to do a video this morning and I don't know what I'm doing.
It can't pick a side.
And as soon as I would start the video, someone would start mowing their yard and I'm like, shh.
Yeah. You're like, people, this is my office right now. Can't you see?
Like someone's dog would bark across the green.
It's always something. So how's your week going?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. And ironically, Friday is typically one of those everybody's got to record, which is still happening. But I literally had one Zoom this morning for just a check-in, and then I have this and at 2:00. So I had time to do all my videos.
Yeah.
It's good. Get it all done.
Yeah.
I like your background. Is that your new project?
Yep. So this is my office, and we're using it. We'll start recording all our podcasts here as well. So we'll.
Perfect.
This was our precast. We're doing a run through. You're our guinea pig. So yeah.
Nice.
So, we really like you, so that says a lot that we wanted you to be, our trial run. We trust you.
Make you the guinea pig. I love that when I'm a guinea pig.
Yeah. Yeah. So just want to spend some time and just talk and, get to know you a little bit, talk about what you do in the industry and a little bit about you personally. And so just kind of dive in, but I know you've been in the industry for over 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been with Lawyers?
Let's see, it would be 12 years. Oh yeah, it's been 12 years. It
Okay.
goes like that. Especially when you're on lockdown, things just happen.
It does. It goes fast.
Yeah.
What are you, how's the business like? Everybody I talk to, it seems like the last few weeks, each week, things seem to kind of go down a little bit more. How was this week for you?
I think what we're finding in our marketplace is we're adjusting.
Yeah.
There's obviously business out there. It's not as it had been, but what it is the quality. We have people that are truly out buying homes, not just looking. You have sellers that are highly motivated because they have some type of a life event. They have to move. They're having another child, and then we're preparing for the next market. So, it is different. It's not slow though for us because we're always, we have our hands in so many different things, and it's not just always title that we're doing. We're trying to help other people in different businesses. So we're never really slow. We just had time to go out and maybe take a walk instead of, run.
Yeah.
So yeah, how are you guys holding up pretty good? You got all the kids at home?
It's a party.
Yep. It's not boring, that's for sure.
No.
Like we'll see someone will post something on Facebook like, I'm really bored, and I'll look at Mercy and be like, what does that word mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you're
I'm not
saying.
familiar with that word.
Thatcher successfully finished his first week of distance learning, so checking that off the list.
That's
We're
awesome.
All homeschool teachers now.
Yeah, it was his first morning on Zoom. He was sitting at his computer, his old laptop all ready to go. He was just waiting for his class to get on, and I walked behind him a couple times, and I realized I was half asleep making my coffee, and I said, is that thing going to be video? And he turns to me and goes, yeah, so you should probably put some pants on.
New rules. Right before we jumped on, I went out to my husband because he's in the garage, and I said, hey, jumping on a Zoom just so you don't come in and think I'm talking
so
to
you know.
I'm sure like a month from now, YouTube's going to be filled with things that have happened on people's Zoom in the background.
Yeah. The big bloopers. Yeah.
The Zoom bloopers.
What's your jacket? That is basketball, right? What is that?
Clippers.
Yeah. You go to a lot of games, don't you?
We do.
Do you have season tickets?
We had a half a season.
Okay.
But we were mainly more of a Kawhi Leonard kind of thing. I loved the Clippers back in the day when they were super terrible anyway.
Yeah.
Because that was just me. Everybody else liked the Lakers and I got to like the Clippers,
Yeah.
So when Kawhi decided to go to the Clippers, I was like, we are going to jump in because he's a local hometown boy kind of,
Mm-hmm.
He's here. He's from Moreno Valley. We want to support our local people. And then lo and behold, we get to a game and I'm like, that guy's last name's Shamet. That's weird. I grew up right around the corner from the Shamets. Long story short, it was his aunt that we lived around the corner from.
Wow.
And so I now, just because of that connection as well, I'm a bigger fan even more because of, Kawhi Leonard and Landry Shamet. So
you're like invested.
Yeah.
Good.
Except, when the season got cut short, I was
there's
hello, we're going to the playoffs.
Okay. And you played like soccer, basketball, and volleyball, didn't you? Yeah. What was your main sport?
I was thinking about that this morning. I'm like, this like staying home thing kind of fits my wheel of comfort because I'm a real tomboy. So if I could go out like yesterday for lunch, my son and I went out and we threw the ball, played catch in the street, and then we rode the bike for a few minutes just to kind of get outside. But then I was like, okay, well, we're done with that. And then after work, we took the basketball out and we dribbled around and passed it to each other, just kind of, because that's truly who I am. It's not a dress and high heels and hair. Let's go out and have some fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
That definitely comes across even when you're wearing a dress and high heels. Like you are fun no matter what you're wearing, for sure.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Nice.
So what was your main sport?
I would say basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, I had an opportunity. I had a scholarship for basketball and I had a scholarship for soccer. Soccer was a full ride. Basketball was kind of like, hey, you want to come over here and play with us? You're short and spunky.
I was going to say, you're not really built like a basketball player so much.
No, I know. I'm a point guard. I run the team.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can see that.
And because
I had some amazing coaches, and it wasn't necessarily coaches for basketball. It was coaches for life. But at that age, you didn't realize it.
Right.
So they would teach you things and you'd be like, yeah, whatever. Focus, like you can visually see yourself making that basket if you see it in your mind, And so I remember I hearken back to this now. And my best friend and I, we coached basketball for 6 years at a local grade school. And so, I'd take those little things that I learned from him and I'd repeat it to these kids and they look at me like, okay, she's the whack job that my parents always said don't pay attention to. But it truly is a state of mind. And it just follows you in business. You guys are the same way. You learn things when you're younger and then you go, oh yeah, whatever, that I'm never going to use that. And then all of a sudden you're repeating and you're like, oh my God, I am my coach himself.
What am I saying?
I grew up doing ballet and my ballet teacher is amazing and takes a lot of credit for my ability as a photographer because she's like, we just poured a lot of artistic stuff into you and here you are, which is totally true.
I believe it because even though you don't realize it, they are training you up for life.
Yeah. It's like parenting teenagers.
Yeah, there's just so many skill sets that you learn for life playing sports. I played soccer. My dad actually played semi-professional soccer up until the point I was born. So he started coaching me when I was, 4 and 5. And then he started a club team in Riverside. And gosh, I guess that was the late 80s, early 90s. So Riverside Lasers, and we played all through high school. And so it's so many people I know in business too. It seems like a lot of the people that I connect with the most too, it's like they have that background as well. Because I think the dedication and really putting yourself into something and being, willing to put the time into something that needs time in order to get the results, which perfectly translate into business, especially as a business owner, where there's not someone breathing down your neck telling you what to do. What
Right,
position?
because you just knew you had to do it.
Yep.
It's just you got to get it done, so it might as well just be you.
Yeah.
Right?
What position did you play in soccer?
I was a midfielder.
Yeah.
After I proved myself, because now mind you, I'm older than you. So when I started playing, I had to play on a boys team because we didn't have a girls team. So this is back in Kansas, remember? So I played on a boys team, and they said, "Sure, you can play for us, but you got to play goalie." I'm like, "Okay, I can do that." So I had to prove myself in the goal. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, she's not going to go anywhere. We're going to have to keep her.
We're
like,
stuck
we
with her."
use her."
That's awesome.
Did you ever play indoor soccer?
I did. I loved indoor because I wasn't the fastest. That was my downfall. Was I wasn't super fast. On my skill level, I keep up with just about anybody I played with, but I was a little bit slower. So I loved indoor because it's smaller space and it really comes down to the touch that you have and your ability to make quick decisions. So I enjoy. I didn't do a lot of it. A couple seasons we had an indoor league that we played in. Did they have one out there when you were growing up in Kansas?
Yeah, I played for the indoor traveling team for the state of Kansas for a while, but I played for Missouri outdoor because we were borderline Kansas, Missouri, so I got to play for both states. But when we moved out here, there was one in Mariloma? No, out
in Pedley,
Riverside somewhere.
Yeah, it was in Pedley. My mom worked
Pedley.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the one that we played at. My mom actually worked there for a while. Like one summer.
Too.
I think. Yeah, really? Yeah, I mean, where you walk in and there was an office to the right and then an arcade. And you go upstairs, there was the food area. Yeah, I loved that place.
Oh, how funny. What a small world. So I wonder, I was probably in the senior league when you were in the junior league.
No. But yeah, I remember one summer when my mom was working there and I just basically went to work with her all day during the day and there was nobody there. So I just had the arcade and the fields to myself.
Wow.
But I remember the two small fields they had, the 3v3 fields.
On the other side.
Yeah, they had the two big fields, one on each side, and in the middle they had two little mini fields. So it was like, because the indoor was 5-on-5 and the small ones were 3-on-3. I loved playing in those.
And ironically, I never played on those because we just came in, played the one game, and then we'd leave.
Yeah.
Right.
More into what bar we were going to after.
Yeah.
Like we had priorities.
Yeah. I came to play, but I also came to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bummer when that closed. So you played because you moved here from Kansas to California when you were about 18, right?
Right.
And then you continue to play soccer.
Yeah, that's how I got into this business.
Okay.
My first job that I went to work for locally in Redlands was not my first job, but it was like my second job, was escrow. And I got into escrow because I was playing soccer and I was working at the YMCA part-time and I really wanted something a little bit more. So this gal goes, "My best friend is hiring an escrow." And I was like, "Okay, what's that?"
Sure.
And she said, "Well, they do something in real estate, but I'll send you her information." So I called her, I got the job, and that's how I start. So my first soccer coach and his wife, first soccer coach is the owner of Century 21 Showcase. So he's still a client of mine.
That's awesome.
And his wife is still a personal friend, and our goalie still works in escrow there. So I still get to see some of them. But yeah, I started playing out here as an adult on a women's league because they had women's teams out here. Yeah. And then got to start playing indoor in Pedley. So
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that place. I was so bummed when it closed down, but.
Well, and I drove by it the other day we were coming home from probably a Clipper game. So it was probably 6-8 weeks ago. And I said to my son, I used to play soccer out here in an indoor field, but I don't even know if that thing's still open. So I didn't even know it closed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it even in the early mid 90s, it closed. Yeah.
Terrible.
So tell me I've seen on Facebook the title talk that you do. So you do that every week, right?
It's having a hard time.
All right, we're good. See, this is why you're our guinea pig, so we can
figure it out. I love your Monday mornings.
Monday morning. So
Yes.
Monday I decided, it was funny because I had people that would, hey, why don't you do something and just start telling us everything you know? And I'm like, how boring would that be? And so one of my old managers, she and I were talking about, and she's like, God, as much coffee as you drink, you should do some kind of coffee show. And I said, maybe I should put the two together and do something like the Monday morning coffee with Kristi. And she said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. Well, finally one morning, it was Monday, and I was like, okay, I get asked these same questions over and over and over.
Right.
And so I started just saying, okay, I'm just going to start recording them. But my goal for Title Talk is something similar, is to be able to educate people. So the Monday morning coffee is the brief snippet kind of thing. And then the Title Talk with Kristi, or Title Talk on Thursday, is more of a in-depth. Let's dive in, let's learn about it. Because when I first started, my boss in Title gave me this is my training. Welcome. Here's where you're going to call on Highland and San Bernardino. Now go tell them what you want to do. And I was like, what do I want to do? He said, well, you want to sell them Title. And I'm like, okay, but what do I say?
You're like, what does that mean?
Yeah. He just basically, that was my whole training. And they said, go see them. And so I was like, oh shoot, I have no idea what I'm doing. So the first office I went to, someone goes, oh, okay, yeah, can you order a farm for me? And I was like, oh, hell, I think they're making fun of me because I'm from Kansas. So I said, better be prepared. I'm going to write down everything they say. And so I did. I took notes, and then I called the office, and I asked the receptionist, I said, are they making fun of me, or do we do something called farming? And so she said, we farm. And I was like, oh, good thing I took notes. And so I just remember, I was so grateful that he even gave me an opportunity, because I was in escrow for like 5 years and I wanted to get into Title. I had no experience in sales. So I was super grateful that he even gave me an opportunity, and I could have totally taken that opportunity and said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to sit at home and try and figure it out, or I'm just going to jump in. Well, I just jumped in. Long story short, I just said, or feel like they don't know something. So if I know the information, I want to give it to whoever I can give it to, so that they can move forward in a career and become successful. Yeah, so I just talk a lot.
It totally works for you. I love like the completely joyful way that you just go about life. And it's been so interesting for us to kind of like navigate through meeting different realtors and different partners of ours. And every single time we say your name, the response is always, oh my gosh, I love her. So you have like the best reputation. And I think so much of that is just you're so generous with what you know. You have such a large amount of knowledge, and you're so generous with it that it has totally worked for you. And I respect that so much about you.
Well, and I just sent an email to my team this morning, because it truly isn't just me. It really isn't. And I said this to my team, I don't know what I would do without them.
Yeah.
Because especially when we're all working differently now. We've all taken on different roles. We've all had to jump from what our little basket was,
right,
into a full-fledged, running stream, and paddle like hell under the water,
right,
and look like we know what we're doing up on top, right?
Yeah.
And so I sent an email to the team today, and I just said, I appreciate you guys just doing whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that we come out of this a better cohesive team than we came into it as. And so we're learning different systems, and we're cleaning up systems and fixing things that maybe weren't working perfectly. And, it isn't me. So every time someone says, man, that you do a great job, I go, it's not me. It's the team. It truly takes all of us to get it moving forward. And without my team at home, right, I would be a nightmare. Because they allow me to go out and do whatever I need to do to get the job done. And there's no, hey, what time are you going to be back? Where are you going? What are you doing? They just go, okay, see you when we see you.
Oh, I love
and
that.
I do respect them. I try to make sure that they know that, I'm not just running out just to get away from them. I'm running out because I need to do something. And instead of invading their space, I'm just going to do it outside, or go drive somewhere and be somewhere else for about an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, every great team has a great leader too. So it's obvious.
Oh, thank you. I was about to cry earlier, so don't do
that. Sorry. We're not here to make you cry.
Yeah. Well, have a great weekend. Again, thanks so much, Kristi, for everything you do for us and for jumping on.
Yes. We'll see you soon.
So that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Were you nervous?
Always.
Did you like at some point it go away?
Yeah. That's kind of why I suggested that we do Kristi first, because she's so easy and I really, really like her. So
yeah.
I knew she would put me at ease.
We've already done her article in the magazine, so we've got to know her and spend time with her.
Yeah,
but
she's great.
We made it. We survived.
We survived.
Are you going to do another one with me?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, if she decides, then we will have another episode. So thanks for watching.
See you next time, maybe.